Hey, welcome to another episode of Clear Lake Connections, where we talk to the people behind the businesses of Bay Area Houston, proudly sponsored by UTMB Health. Today's special guest is Natasha with the Wings Over Houston Airshow. Great to have you on again.
Thank you.
It is one of these signature events in this region, and we were just talking off air about you were coming to the chamber from another event at the Hilton. And tell me about what you were doing there and the importance of kind of the hotel industry in this area for an event like that.
Oh, absolutely. It was actually a meeting with Vanessa with the Hilton Houston NASA Clear Lake. Took me about 2 minutes to get to you. And we were just working out everything for this year. I have 3 different room blocks that we paid for, as well as she's been receiving calls from people who are coming in to the show, wanting to stay with her. They're so close to NASA that or Space Center, I should say, that they're basically making it a weekend coming to our show and doing Space Center. We also host a Friday night party for our staff, as well as a Saturday night sit-down dinner for our Legends and Heroes tent, which I'll talk to you about later. But those folks are really special and dear to us. Some of them go as far back as World War II. So we take good care of them at the show, and they stay at the Hilton, and then we do a nice plate of dinner for them so they can eat early, get to bed early, and enjoy their evening.
It's a really good concrete example of the economic impact the show brings to the region.
Absolutely. We work with five hotels. I have room blocks, guaranteed room blocks that the Airshow is covering. But last year in 2023, we had 48 states accounted for and over 24 countries come to our show. So they've got to stay somewhere, and why not right by the field somewhere in this area?
So you've got people coming from all over the world, year after year.
Yep.
What makes Wings Over Houston so special?
Well, it is our 40th year, so I think we've learned a few things about what we're doing. And we're also one of, the airshow world is kind of in 2 different realms, right? You have your shows that are military run on base, and then you have civilian shows, and we're a civilian show on a really unique piece of land, right? You still have military, you have NASA, you also have general aviation, you have the museum, but we are considered a civilian-run show. And as far as I know, in North America, we're right up there with one of the largest, probably in the top 5. So people always like to come to us. We're at a nice time of year. It's been hot, so we're hoping by the end of October it'll be a nice break. And we're really proud to be such a time-honored tradition in this area.
Do you have a sense of like what your repeat business is?
Yeah, I mean, I could dig that information up thanks to online ticketing, but I can tell you for a fact, like our photo pit, we have about 140 people a year. Almost over half of them are people that come year in, year out, and not all from just Houston. We have a gentleman that comes from Australia every year just to be in our photo pit and take photos. Our Eagle Squadron is another one that's really big, our VIP. It's when we go on sale in June, that's a good way to tell, right? People are waiting for us to go on sale in June at noon because they know they want to get their Eagle Squadron tickets, and why not get them at the cheapest rate they can.
So it's a lot of repeat business.
A lot of repeat, but also a lot of the folks that are new are typically families. We love families who want to bring their kids out and expose them to something new. And those are the folks we're going to meet between now and then that are interested in the show. If you've been to our show, you've probably been on our email list and already have your ticket and can't wait to go.
So it's repeat business, and you have some mainstays. Like you always have Tora Tora, which is awesome. But you keep it obviously mixed up enough with new things that keep the people coming back.
Yep.
Talk about some of the new things that you've got going on.
Sure.
And your big guest this year.
Yeah, so I'll start with the mainstays because a lot of people still come just to see Tora, or they come to see our collection of warbirds. We are a commemorative Air Force show, so we are one of the larger, particularly in Texas, but even in the South, larger shows with one of the larger warbird displays. So people love that, and there is a Blue Jet team known as the Blue Angels this year that is coming from the Navy. They tend to come every other year. Same with the Thunderbirds, they kind of alternate. We're fortunate that way, and I guarantee you if you ask most of the folks that are coming this year, what they're most excited about is to see that Blue Jet team, and we love them too. But as far as new this year, we have a couple things in the works. And they're on the Warbird side. Since this is our 40th anniversary, we are looking to do some unique stuff with local warbirds. Can't tell you a whole bunch yet, but what I will say, it is Vietnam related, and we do have our friends with the Collings Foundation, the Vietnam War Flight Museum, and Lone Star, and a few others in play. So that's hopefully coming out very soon. We are looking to also bring in some folks from Eglin Air Force Base who are loud and fast and not a warbird. The F-35s we're hoping to bring in as well. That's one phone call away. So those are a couple things in the works.
Okay.
And then the rest of our lineup is the F-16 Viper demo team, which if you haven't seen their new paint job, it is their 50th anniversary. So
very cool.
They have given themselves a new paint job. It's all red, white, and blue. It looks like the YF-16, and it was the original paint scheme for the mock-up when they were trying it out, testing it, and it is really pretty. It'll make you feel patriotic as soon as you see it. And the demo pilot, his name is FEMA. That's his call sign. His name is Taylor Heister, and he's great. We also have a C-17 coming on, not just display, but they're going to do their full demo as well. Our friends with the Remax skydiving team are coming again. They'll start the show off. John and Shane McGillis, and that's it for now. But like I said, we do have some stuff in the works.
Talk to me, okay, in the works. We're talking about October. It's a year-round job for you.
It
There's
is.
only 2 of you that get paid.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me about what your year looks like, and then you've got to have some amazing volunteers. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so Bill Roach, Executive Director, and I, we are the only 2 that work on this year-round, but that's kind of true and not, right? We that is what we get paid to do, but we couldn't do any of this without our volunteers. We have probably about 100 that we consider our staff team leads, and they all have a role, and then they have their own teams as well. So, you know, when you break it down and I look at numbers, it gets into the thousands when it comes to the people that volunteer for this show. But we have particularly about 100 to 150 people that I talk to year-round who have day jobs, other things to do, who give up all their time for us, and they work on things as important as the medical team, security, you know, transportation. I could keep going, food and beverage.
It reminds me a little bit of the Houston Livestock
That's
Show.
what I tell everyone.
Setup.
It is. We're just a weekend long, as you know, the rodeo is a month basically. But it's the same setup where you have your team leads. They're my go-to people, but they have invaluable people that you know, answer to them as well. So
well, and it's remarkable that you have that many people, and they come back year after year too, right? Once they're in, they're in the grips. Apparently.
They are, and they bring their kids and their grandkids, and a lot of our volunteers have grown up in this show as soon as they were old enough to volunteer, and now they're some of my best team leads. And we are always, this is a little plug, but we are always looking for more as well. There are people that are still on our staff, and we love them, that have been here for 40 years, and they are looking at some point to just come out and enjoy the show and hand the reins over. So we are always looking for folks who want to come out and get involved. I guarantee you it's hard work, but it's also really rewarding, and some of the best backstage you'll ever get to see, right? You get some opportunities when you come to volunteer for us that folks that are coming out to enjoy the show just simply couldn't.
So it's, and we can't stress this enough, and I know it's been said over and over again, but there is no experience like the experience of sitting there at the air show and seeing this.
Mm-hmm.
You might see it from far away. For me, for example, I think it was the Raptor. The sheer force of that and the sound. You're not going to get to experience that anywhere except for showing up at the show.
That's absolutely true. If I had $1 for every time I heard, I've seen it from my backyard, I'd be a pretty rich woman. And it's wonderful. I imagine if you live, I do not live in this area, but if I did, I'd be looking at planes all the time, year round. You know, the folks at Ellington and NASA are flying all the time.
Yeah.
But when you come to the air show, it's so much different. Those maneuvers, we have an aerobatic box, and it's drawn up, submitted to the FAA, approved by anyone that's flying. It has to be the right size, right amount of space between Hobby Airport and everything else. So all of those cool flips, turns, inverted flying, those have to happen right there in front of you in that box, 500 feet away, 1,000 feet away from the crowd. It has to be in a very specific spot, so you won't get to experience that at the air show. And also, it's just so impressive to see what these folks can do, the men and women that fly these planes, to be able to hit the spot and do the moves and create that wow factor. It only happens right there at the air show. Yeah, and
it's not even close. It's I've heard the same thing, and when I went to the show, most of us are in awe of, you know, the machinery, and there's nothing like experiencing it actually there in person, and just the maneuvers, the grandeur of it, but just the power and getting to see.
And that's just the flying. You know, the other, you know, perk of coming to the show is what we have on the ground. You know, we usually have 75 to 100 airplanes on display that don't even fly, that you're able to touch, feel, meet the folks that fly them. A lot of them will let you tour them if they're of the right size, you know.
Well, it's expanded beyond that. I remember last year there was a lot of like military setups.
Oh yeah, it's a festival. Yeah. The folks at Ellington are kind enough to give us the grounds for the weekend, and we turned it into a celebration of aviation in every capacity, whether it's in the STEM world, military recruitment. You know, we have all of our flight schools that are local. All of the universities come out, plus your mom and pops that are selling, you know, trinkets, and you know, we have so much going on the ground to look at that. It makes for a great day. It really does. I know.
Yeah, it's amazing. No, it really is signature event in this area. We talked a little bit about the economic impact. You know, there's very few things that happen in the Houston area that in one weekend can do what you guys pull off.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. And yeah, like, you know, I didn't even touch on our Legends and Heroes tent or our Veteran Business Marketplace. Those are two things we're really proud of that you can only see if you come to the show. This year we'll be hosting about 20 to 22 what we consider Legends and Heroes. They're either from the military, flying aces from history, astronauts. We have all kinds of folks that come in, and a lot of them have books, but they all have stories to tell. And our friends with United Airlines actually sponsored it this year, so we're able to bring a lot more folks from out of state this year because they're helping us fly them in. So stay tuned for that list, but I know we've got some folks that are must meet, shake their hand, talk to them. We're working on finding one of the last remaining Tuskegee Airmen. We've got just a whole great lineup there. And then our Veteran Business Marketplace is also sponsored this year by Walmart. And we are going to host about 50 veteran-owned businesses that are local to Houston. And I tell everyone, you know, how we just talked about comparing things to the rodeo there. For me, the marketplace, the best comparison is if you walk in and you feel like you're at a farmer's market on the weekend, right? Or some sort of expo, you know? So there's booths, right? And they're all veteran-owned businesses, so it helps you support the local veteran business community. And they'll be right next to each other. So if you find one, you'll find the other.
All right, so I heard you were almost sold out of some things. What's still available, and if anybody's interested, where can they go to get any of the remaining tickets that might be left?
Okay, we are completely sold out of anything that is VIP on Saturday. So all I have left for Saturday are general admission tickets. But I do have some Sunday VIP tickets in our business class, Eagle Squadron, Prime View, and Family Chalet. My photo pit has sold out both days. And I'm not sure because of the amount of space, since you understand it's a huge area. We cannot sell out of general admission, so we will always have general admission.
Okay.
And the good thing about general admission, if you're on the fence and you have kids, each ticket is good for you, and up to 6 children for free.
Oh, wow.
Anyone that's 14 and under is considered a child.
Okay.
So you'll only need to do a head count for the amount of people that are 15 and up.
Awesome.
And then we also have a Friday drive-in show, which we have 22 tickets left, I believe, last time I checked this morning.
And that's a holdover from COVID?
It is.
Yeah.
It is. People loved it, and we did too. We were really proud of that event, that we were able to do it and do it safely and still provide a good show. But we wanted to get back to normal like the rest of the world did at some point, but we wanted to have some sort of tie to that because people really did enjoy it, and it does help for folks who are maybe elderly or have children who need a smaller window. So that's on Friday afternoon, and it is a smaller version of our air show, basically. And you get
all
out
from the comfort of your own car.
Yep, you get out of your car, you pull out your chairs, you can bring your own food as long as there's no glass or open flame. We're not quite like a Texans tailgate, right?
Yeah.
We're on an airport, so we can't have that, but you can pack a lunch and come out and enjoy it. And so we have 22 tickets there. We're also doing a Friday night photo experience ticket, which is our first year doing this. So planes look a lot different at night when they're lit up with props moving. So a lot of our photographer junkies have come out and they want to do that. We're going to take one of the Vietnam War Flight Museum's airplanes and light it up. And we have 9 tickets left for that. And that is only for that experience. So if you still want to come on the weekend, you'll need 2 tickets. But
it's almost like anything new you guys try seems to work.
Well,
that's how it seems anyway.
Don't jinx us, but thank you. I mean, it takes a lot of going to. I've been to 4 air shows this year, all over the country, taking notes, taking pictures, looking at what other folks do, and trying to make it work for our fans. We love our fan base, as you said. You know, we have a lot of repeat customers, and we love them, and we just want to keep trying to make the experience better.
But it almost sounds like as an industry, you guys have a lot of cooperation.
Oh yeah.
In between the different shows.
Yeah, I mean, there's really no competition with each other. We create our events at different times a year, all over the country. Some of my best friends that I lean on are in California. You know, I went to their show in July for the first time because they usually have theirs way too close to mine, so I don't get to. But you know, and we just compare notes and what each other are doing. It's pretty tight community. We have our International Council of Air Shows conferences every December in Vegas, and there's only about, I think, 1,200 people that come, which that's about it. If you're in this industry, you're there. So we all get to know each other pretty well, and I've never met anyone that runs an air show that isn't more than willing to help. So we love that, and it helps make ours better.
Yeah.
So.
The dates again, it's usually the end of October.
Yep, this year it's October 26th and 27th at Ellington Airport. We do have, like I said, those few experiences on Friday if you want. So that's 31 total tickets available on Friday, which is the 25th. But the big show where you get to do everything that's on the ground is the 26th and 27th of October.
All right, and they can visit Wings Over Houston.
WingsOverHouston.com. If you sign up to become an insider, it's right there on our homepage. We'll send you a link and you get an even better discount from what's available on the website. If you don't want to join our email list, that's okay. You can just buy them straight from there.
So what's the special show this year?
Okay, so on Friday, every year we have what we call our special show. And it is from 10 a.m. to noon, and it is not open to the public. It is by invite only, and it is for our special needs community in the greater Houston area. It's one of our favorite events of the year. It's pretty well attended, usually a couple thousand people show up. A lot of school districts, even some senior centers for folks that maybe just can't get around for the weekend, but mostly in the special needs bracket. And we have a page on our website, so if you know of anyone that qualifies, we take groups mostly, but if say you're a family with a kid that's special needs, we'll gladly accept you as well. And all you do is apply. Everyone is approved as long as they qualify for what we're doing, and it is it's a smaller version of the show, kind of like I said on the Friday, but in a more quiet way, which is hard to do at an air show, because we have a ton of folks in the autistic community that come out that get to see it, feel it, and it doesn't scare them as much, and it's just really great. I'm hoping we have the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo Clowns are looking to come out. Our they're called the 501st Legion, and they are the Star Wars reenactors. They come out,
Oh, okay.
and everybody, you know, it's just a high five event. They come out and they just love it for a couple hours, and then go home.
So it's a great way to get back to the community.
Yeah, it feels good, and it's just a wonderful thing. I'm so glad that we keep it up. So as long as the weather cooperates, that'll be happening as well.
Okay. I think I know some people maybe to reach out to.
That'd be great. Yeah, we'd love to have them.
Okay. So again, to the audience, do not think that you're going to see this from your backyard. You're cheating yourself on the experience. Get to the Air Show October 26th and 27th. You will not be disappointed. Thank you.
Thank you.